Today I'm going to be looking at the P000288 NCFE papers. Specifically, we're going to be looking at Excel, some of the questions involving it. So I'm going to be sharing my screen. Okay. So if you have a look at the paper where it says you have to figure things out about a forecast Excel spreadsheet, we're going to open this up, and it's already opened up. You get a raw data like this. Okay. We can't see all of the figures at the bottom. If you go back to the question itself, which is, I'm trying to find it here. Oh, actually, it's already right here, sorry. You get a question like this, okay? So this is from the from this particular paper here, okay? So we're going to look at question 1, or A. There is an error in the data. The number of customers for December should be 285 instead of 2,285. So the way to do that is to look at for that particular figure itself, okay? So it's like this one, okay? So you just simply edit that and just change it to 285. That's the question done. For question B, so use the facilities on your software application to work out and display the total business costs each month, okay? So business costs each month, firstly, the question tells us the total we have to figure out the total business costs of each month. So what does that mean? So that means each month, so January, February, March, up to December. Okay. So that means we need to calculate the total for each month. So for each month means for each January, for February, for March, etc. Calculate the total cost for each of those months. So that means we're going to have to calculate the total number of each of these businesses, okay? So their expenses. Okay, so we're going to be doing equals sum. Okay, you just double click this and simply highlight these, okay, and click enter. Unfortunately, you couldn't see these values here, and that's because you need to go between C and D until you meet this cross looking sign here. You can see that here, that black looking sign. You just simply double click, or you just hold it and then click and hold and then just drag it towards the right side, and there you go. Okay, for me, I'm just going to double click it. Okay, double click. Okay, and for simple reasons, you can just go to the bottom right corner where you see a cross like this, and just drag it all the way to December. Okay. The reason why you can highlight these is because for each month it will calculate automatically from that cell column. Okay, so it will copy the same formula. See this equals sum C8. If you move to the next one, press escape. You can see that these formulas here are implemented for each cell. Okay, and therefore it calculates it similarly to how you've calculated it on C9. Okay, next one, the business income each month. Okay, so we're focusing particularly on this one here, so you have to read the actual Excel sheet itself, find some clues. business income each equals the number. So business income for each month equals the number of customers multiplied by the average cost of the window clean. Okay? So we're looking for the number of customers here. Okay, we found it. And we also have looked at average cost of window clean, which is this variable here. So what it asks us to do is for each month equals multiplied. Now that's the key word there, multiplied by the average cost. Now some of the examples will tell us, so calculate the ticket sales per person or per sales that is made. Something like that will also indicate that it's multiplication, okay, that it wants us to do multiplication. In this particular one, it blatantly tells us to multiply, okay? So in this case, we're going to be doing equals at the bottom here. Click on the cell that you want it to be multiplied by. Then you go to click this start by holding Shift and going to pressing number 8. Depending on your keyboard, it might be different. And if I click on the second variable, which is this one, okay, the one that I want to be multiplying, and click enter, and there you go. So now what would you do next? You do exactly the same thing. So you click on the bottom right and you drag it all the way to the right, like so. And there you go. So that's the question completed. Now we look at the total number of cost and the total business income for the year. Okay. So there you go. This is just a replication. Total business cost, we've got that in here. The total, this is the business cost, and this is the total business cost. Total business income, this is the business income, and this is the total business income. Okay, so it's important to read the questions and read these titles here to gain some clues on how to answer questions. So make the title stand out from the other information, make sure that all of the information can be read. So format the money values as currencies, pounds, okay? So that means ideally every single one of these has to be in pounds, okay? So now in this particular scenario, all of them are basically in pounds, so you don't need to do that. However, in the future, if you would like to know how to change it to pounds or to dollars, you just simply highlight that, go to accounting, go to currency, and you should be able to just take a look. Okay, it just seems to just move it around, so just let me have a look. Yeah, you can change it from here very simplistically, just change that to euro, or if more accounting formats, you can just change it to different types of currencies around the world. And if you click this, for example, pounds, and I click OK, all of them will be formatted like this. So the next question, use a highlight or some other means to indicate the first month in which business income is more than the business cost. So this requires a little bit of analysis, okay? So to indicate the first month, so the very first month in which businesses income, so business income, where's business income, guys? It's this one, yeah? Is more than the business cost. This is the business cost, okay? So now we're going to look at if the business income is more than, this is the business income, okay? The total business income more than the business cost, okay? So it's January, the case for this, is the business income more than the business cost? No. This is clearly business income has got a is lower than the business cost. So now we move on to the next month. So is the total business income more than the business cost? Yes. So this is the very first month at which it has done this. So now we simply highlight it and we just use a fill color just to highlight it. Done. So create a fully labeled chart showing the business income for each month. So what does that mean? So there's two variables that we're going to look at, okay? So always remember X. So how can we visualize the graphs and what things should we include on the X-axis and on the Y-axis, or vice versa? Okay, so business income, that's the very first one, because that's what it says in the question. Okay. And then what will be the second variable out of this sentence here? Month, right? So for each month. So that will be on the y-axis or the x-axis, okay? So there you go. We can slightly see what our graph is going to look like, okay? So let's have a look at business costs in here, okay? Now, it's a bit confusing at how this question perhaps may be laid out to you because it's not... now, business income, as you can see here, which is right here, there is number of customers underneath it, and there's average cost of window clean. So by common sense, that wouldn't be the business income, right? Because this is the number of customers and this is the average cost. It would be the total, so business income total. So we just simply highlight all of these. Do control, because we remote the months are also our variables, so we now have two variables. Okay, so all I did was I clicked on this, highlight all of these, then let go of my mouse, then do control, and I press control, and then click and drag this across. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the chart, go to insert, and then go to a bar chart. Okay, now this bar chart will now show you January, February, March up to December, and all of the pounds like this. Now you can also change this to it's also advisable in the exam that you also have a chart version of this. Okay, and the reason for that is it shows flexibility on your end. Okay, that you can do multiple ways of representing data. Okay, so I'm going to go to this one, see if it just seems to just have a... Okay, there you go. There's one there. So we just right click that and then copy and then paste. So you see that, and this pasted one should be the one that should be changed in terms of whether it's a pie chart, etc. Okay. Okay. There you go. So that's the end of the tutorial. If you have any questions with regards to how you should, what you have in terms of confusion, just comment down below, okay? Thank you.